Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 2nd chapter. Stenaha Surapo Mitradrig Brahmaha Gurutalpagaha Stri Rajapitra Gohanta Ye Cha Pataki no Apare Sarvesham Apya Aghavatam सुनिष्कृतं नाम व्याहरणं विष्णोर्यतस्तद्विषया मतिः. All the sins, including the sin that is incurred by stealing property, others' property, gold, by intoxication, a person who deceives the friend, killer of a brahmana, a person who abducts the wife of a guru, killer of a woman, cows, and father, king. The sin incurred out of all these activities will be simply wiped away by chanting the holy name. Means by chanting the holy name, the atonement for all these activities would have been done. No special, practices are required to free from these sinful reactions. Because the Vishnudutas are telling, because anyone who chants the Lord Narayana's name, Narayana immediately considers that person to be his own. And therefore, he takes the responsibility of such person. So, the Vishnudutas are telling to the Yamadutas how powerful is the holy name, that it will make even our Lord think the person to be my own. So, we are going through the purport by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Such a long purport, I am lost where I stopped last.
तो नाम किसी भी तरह से लिया हो भगवान अपना ही समझते हैं। तो स्पेसिफिक ऐसा कुछ नहीं है।
I am lost. Okay, I think last we were hearing about Namaparad, Arthavad. To consider the Lord's holy name, the glorification of the holy name is overly exaggerated. The glories are not so much as said in the scriptures, or interpreting the holy name, in their own way, a wrong interpretation. So this is one of the offenses to the holy name. যেরূপ নামাভাসের বলে अजामिल दुराचार হইয়াও বৈকুণ্ঠ প্রাপ্ত হইয়াছেন, তদ্রূপই স্মার্ত প্রবৃত্তি সদাচার সম্পন্ন ও শাস্ত্রজ্ঞ হইয়াও বহুবার নাম গ্রহণ করিলেও অর্থবাদ কল্পনাদি নামাপরাধের ফলেই ঘোর সংসারেই পুনঃ পুনঃ জন্ম মরণ রূপ সংসার প্রবাহেই প্রাপ্ত হইয়া থাকেন। Anybody can tell me where I was? It's such an ocean of, translation, the purport. Je Vyakti, okay, if we have read already, we will read one more time because I am totally lost where we, because I stopped in the middle of paragraph. The time was up. अर्थवादम अर्थात जे व्यक्ति श्री हरिर नामे अर्थवाद कल्पना करे मनुष्यगणेर मध्य से पापिष्ट नर निश्चयी नरके पतित है. So अर्थवाद is a kind of an offense. Those who consider the holy name to be, glories of holy name to be an exaggeration or an interpretation, they certainly go to hellish planets. Yan nama kirtana phalam, अर्थात श्री भगवान बोलिलेन जे मनुष्य विविध श्री हरिनाम कीर्तनेर फल श्रवण करतः ताहाते श्रद्धा करें ना अधिकंतु अर्थवाद मने करे ताहाके इहलोके घोर संसारे विविध आर्तिर द्वारा निपीडितांग क्लिष्ट देह करिया अनंत दुख निवहे निक्षेप करिया थाके. Here the yan nama kirtana phalam, from Padma Purana this evidence is being given, the dire consequences of those who have committed serious offense at the lotus feet of the holy name. Those who have committed offenses at the feet of the holy name by thinking the glories of holy name to be ordinary, or thinking that they are overly being exaggerated, or interpreting the holy name in their own way. By doing this kind of offense at the holy name, such person will forever undergo the sufferings of this material world. Klishta Deho, he will get a very a body which is always in suffering, Such kind of a body one will get if one thinks that the holy name, the glories of the holy name is an exaggeration. And ananta dukkha nivahe nikhepa kariya thake, and one will be drowned in the ocean of endless miseries by committing offense to the holy name. श्रुति स्मृति पुराणेषु अर्थात श्रुति स्मृतियों पुराण आदि शास्त्र समूहे नाम महात्म्य कीर्तित हইলেও যাহারা अर्थवाद बोलिया बोलेन তাহাদের কখনো নিরয়ক্ষয় নরক ভোগের ক্ষয় হয় না. Even though in spite of hearing the glories of the holy name repeatedly from various scriptures, not 1, 2, 3, in many scriptures the glories of the holy name have been mentioned. In spite of hearing all these glories of the holy name repeatedly, if one thinks that this is nothing but an exaggeration, they are not to be released from their hellish suffering. They will not be released. Ityadi Padma Purana. So all these statements are written in Padma Purana. In Padma Purana it is stated that such persons will have to suffer, they will not be released from hellish sufferings. कात्यायन संहिता प्रभृति ग्रंथे सहस्र सहस्र वचनेर प्रमाणेर द्वारा श्री नामे अर्थवाद कल्पना कारीर अधः पतनई होय. So, and not only from Padma Purana, also from Katyayani Sanghita, etc., there are several scriptures that state about the glories of the holy name, and at the same time they also say that those who consider the glories of the holy name as an exaggeration, they are certainly going to have a very dire consequences. It is mentioned in all the scriptures. अतएव श्री परीक्षित महाराजौ बोलियाचेन क्वचिन निवर्तते, अर्थात प्रायश्चित्तेर पर मानुष कखनो पाप हইতে निवृत्त হয়, कखनो वा पुनराय उक्त पापकर्मेर अनुष्ठान करे. अतएव उक्त प्रायश्चित्तके आमी हस्तिर स्नानेर न्याय निरर्थकई मने करी इत्यादिर द्वारा महाराज पुनराय पापे प्रवृत्त दर्शने प्रायश्चित्त निष्फल बोलिया आक्षेप करिलेও भक्ति प्रसंगे भक्तगणेर मध्य साधन काले काहार काहारও पुनः पुनः पाप प्रवृत्ति दर्शन करलेও एखानेই आक्षेप करें নাই. Here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing that previously when Sukadeva Goswami told that one should perform some ritualistic activities in order to free from sinful actions as an atonement, Then Parikshit Maharaj told, this such kind of, observing ritualistic activity is like elephant's bath. Means they are not released from their papa pravritti, their tendency to commit sin. Even after they, atone for the previous sinful action, they will again engage themselves in another sinful activity after atonement also. Therefore, it is like a elephant's bath, that he is taking bath and then he is putting dust over him again. So it is useless. He objected previously. But here, when Sukadeva Goswami is telling about the discussion between Vishnudutas and Yamadutas, Vishnudutas are telling directly to the Yamadutas that the first time he took the name of Narayana at the time of, the naming ceremony of his son, that time itself all the sins are destroyed. Not only of the previous ones, of the future also. Chanting the holy name once, one will be freed from all sinful activities in the past, present and future. And after that, whatever he chanted is only sadhana bhakti. Now, Yamadutas might put a question that even after he chanted the holy name, he engaged in sinful actions. Still he associated with the prostitute, and still he had committed, even after that he has committed so many sinful actions, in spite of chanting the holy name and atoning for it through holy name. So, as per Parikshit Maharaj's previous objection, that what use is it of chanting the holy name? Like, what use is it of atoning through some ritualistic performance if it is like a elephant's bath? Similarly here also, chanting is done, all sins are freed, then again performing the, chanting the holy name. That papa pravritti, the desire to commit sin, is not finished yet. But here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that here Parikshit Maharaj has not raised an objection like he did in the past when he told about the ritualistic activities. Why? Because these are the words spoken by Narayana's Dutas directly, Vishnu Dutas directly. If Vishnu Dutas are telling this, where can there be any question of objection there? If a materialist person, an ordinary person, a person who has knowledge, he says that, oh, this is what it is, then you may say, no, why it is so? But if Krishna is directly telling, or the messengers of Krishna are directly telling that this is like this, then there is no what and why there. There cannot be any question of objection there. So here, Parikshit Maharaj also did not raise any objection that why Ajamila again engaged in sinful actions even after chanting the holy name. He did not raise this objection. Arau Jerup नामाभासेर बले अजामिल दुराचार होइयाओ वैकुंठ प्राप्त होइयाछिलेन तद्रूपई स्मार्त प्रवृत्ति सदाचार संपन्न शास्त्रज्ञ होइयाओ बहुबार नाम ग्रहण करिलेओ अर्थवाद कल्पनादि नामापराधेर फले घोर संसारे पुनः पुनः जन्म मरण रूप संसार प्रवाहई प्राप्त होइया थाकेन. And on the other side, Ajamila, he chanted the holy name in the Namabhasa platform. He chanted the holy name, but it became Namabhas, and ultimately he attained the Supreme Lord due to his Namabhas. Now, on the other hand, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, if those who are performing the ritualistic activities, they are having knowledge also, and they are also chanting the holy name. But at the same time, they don't have faith in the holy name completely. They think that the glories of holy name is nothing but an exaggeration. Then they cannot be relieved. Ajamila was relieved because he was not performing any kind of offense to the holy name. Why this is said is because some people say when performing some ritualistic activities also, Lord Hari's name, Narayana's name, Vishnu's name is chanted. Because when ordinarily we are performing ritualistic activity, at that time also one chants the Lord's names. So Ajamila chanted Lord's name, and while doing the ritualistic activity, one is chanting the holy name. If Ajamila is delivered, why not this person? Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling very, very clearly here, because this person has no faith in the holy name. This person thinks that the glories of holy name are being exaggerated simply. Therefore, he is committing an offense to the holy name. They think that I have to perform ritualistic activity. They don't think that I have to perform chanting. Because of that, their chanting is only making them commit offenses, because of which they will only fall down to the hellish planets. But they will not get relieved like Ajamila. So one may put a question, if Ajamila got delivered, why not we? Why not I? Ajamila chanted, you are telling that because he chanted Narayana name once, he got delivered and he committed sinful actions. But I am not committing any sinful actions, gross sinful activities like Ajamila did. Ajamila was engaged in very gross sinful activities. He gave up his wife, very noble, chaste woman from a high-class Brahminical family. He gave her up for associating with the prostitute. He ate the food cooked by her. He also performed so many sinful actions to take care of her and her family. I am not doing anything like this. If Ajamila is delivered, why not I? Krishna Chakravarti Thakur is making the point very clear that if we have no faith in the holy name, we think that the holy name, the glories of holy name are only exaggeration, then we are destined to get this suffering repeatedly. This is aparad. This is not, abhas, namabhas. अतएव नाम महात्म्यम देखिया सकलेरी जे मुक्ति होइबे एरूप आशंका करा उचित नहीं. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling that by seeing the glories of the holy name, okay, now I heard from Ajamila, through Ajamila's story, that by knowing the glories of holy name, I will also be delivered. But Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that everyone can get delivered like this. You don't expect anything like that. Don't be in a false illusion state. Means that unless until one frees from namaparat, it's not that nam will not rescue. But as long as one is namaparat, simply I heard, okay, I will chant. No, you should have this faith. If you have arthavad, if you feel that the glories of the holy name are overly exaggerated, then no, we will be deprived. Karan niraparade naam grahan korilei Shri Naam Karuna Kuran. Evang tahati Bhagavat Sevar Adhikar Rupa Mukti Prapta Hoy. Because only if we chant the holy name free from offenses, offenseless chanting, only when we do offenseless chanting, then we will get, liberation, and we will get the eligibility to serve the Supreme Lord. Not in offensive chanting. Ataiva Shri Bhagavan नाम एक बार मात्र उच्चारित होइलेउ एवं सद्यै निखिल पाप समूले विनाश करिलेउ फलन्नपि वृक्षः काले एव फलति. अर्थात फलवान वृक्षो यथा काले फलदान करे এই ন্যায় অনুসারে শ্রী নাম সাধারণতঃ কিঞ্চিত বিলম্বেই নিজের ফল চিহ্ন শ্রী নাম গ্রহণের প্রভাব জগতে দর্শন করাইয়া এবং বহির্মুখ শাস্ত্রমতের উচ্ছেদের অভাবের নিমিত্ত কখনো নামের ফল প্রদর্শন না করিয়া স্ব अपराध रहितान अर्थात श्री नामापराध रहित निज नाम ग्रहणकारी व्यक्ति दिक्के भगवत धामे आनयन करिया थाकेन এই রূপ সিদ্ধান্ত জানিতে হইবে. The holy name, as soon as one chants the holy name, immediately he is freed from all sinful actions. He is immediately liberated. This is the verdict of the scriptures. But Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur here through another evidence. He says, Falannapi vriksha kale eva falati. One will see the fruits of a tree over a period of time. I have sown the seed, immediately I will see the fruit. It's not like that. Even though the holy name will immediately free a living entity from sinful actions, but it is not necessary that one will see its reaction immediately. He is freed, but he may not be able to see the reactions of it immediately. Just like by sowing a seed, it will take time for us to see the fruit. In a similar manner, over a period of time, one will be delivered completely, and one will, and the condition, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that niraparad, one should chant the holy name free from offenses and without any desire to increase our material opulence, not with a desire of any material advancement. We should not chant the holy name. This is also one of the offenses. Arthavad means interpretation is an offense, and another offense is to commit sins on the strength of the holy name. Okay, holy name has the capacity to free me from all the sins, therefore I will chant and I will also commit sin. I will chant and I will commit sin. This is another offense. And another kind of offense is also to chant the holy name for material advancement, to get some material results, is also offensive chanting, because holy name is spiritual. We have to become servants of the holy name. We should not engage the holy name in our service. That, oh, holy name, please give me this, holy name, please give me that. No. We should serve the holy name without any material hankering. Then Bhagavad Dhame Anayan Koriyat Haken. This will immediately bring that chanter to the Supreme Lord's abode. যদি বলেন দেখুন অর্থবাদাদি নামাপরাধকারীর শ্রী নামের প্রতি অপরাধ হেতু অধঃপাত হয় হোক, তদ বিষয়ে আমাদের কোনো বিবাদ নাই, কিন্তু নামগ্রহণের ফলে সমস্ত পাপের ক্ষয় হয় বা হয় না. You see, by arthavad, by interpretation, or by thinking that the holy name's glories are being exaggerated, by this kind of offense to the holy name, one will fall to the hellish planets, one will have an intense suffering. Okay, agreed. We have no objection to this. But what we want to know is whether all the sins are completely destroyed or not. Please tell me this. By chanting the holy name, whether all the sins are completely destroyed or not, this is what we want to know. Okay, for a person who has committed offense, arthavad offense, he will fall down. I have no objection. আদ্যে অর্থাৎ নামগ্রহণের ফলে যদি সর্ব পাপের ক্ষয় হয়, তাহা হইলে কর্মী জ্ঞানী যোগী ভক্ত এবং তদ্ভিন্ন অপরজনের মধ্যে কেহই পরদার গমন ও পরহিংসাদির ফল নরকাদিতে গমন করবেন না. So, if it is so, if the holy name will free a living entity from all sinful reactions, if it is so, then a karmi, a performer of fruitive activities, jnani, a mental speculator or a philosopher, a yogi, and a bhakta, and whoever it may be, if they are performing sins like associating with others' wife and parahinsa, giving trouble to others, or committing crime to others, being violent to others, by performing these sinful activities, will he not go to hell? If a person is chanting the holy name and he is engaging in all these sinful activities, will he not go to hell? দ্বিতীয়ে অর্থাৎ আর যদি নামগ্রহণে পাপ ক্ষয় না হয় তবে কর্মী প্রভৃতির ন্যায় ভক্তজনকেও পাপ ভোগের নিমিত্ত অবশ্যই নরক গমন করতে হইবে। And secondly, the first is that whether it is karmi, jnani, yogi, whoever it is, if he is chanting the holy name, will he not be freed from hellish planets even if he has committed sinful activities? And secondly, a person, if the sins are, if one is not completely freed from sinful activities by chanting the holy name, then just like a karmi, a devotee also will have to suffer for his sinful activities. Means if one has chanted, if one is chanting the holy name, if the holy name cannot free one from the sinful activities because he is again engaging in sinful activities, then he also have to suffer just like a karmi, is it not? This is the question one might get. ইহার উত্তরে বলিতেছেন, যেমন কোনো মহাজন নিজ আশ্রিত জনের আশ্রয়গত তারতম্যে পালনের তারতম্য করিয়াও তাহাদিগকে পালন করেন, যদি তাহারা তাহার প্রতি অপরাধী হয় তাহা হইলে তাহার অপ্রসন্নতাই স্বাশ্রিত জনের অপালনে কারণ, কিন্তু তাহাতে তাহার পালনের অক্ষমতা কল্পনা করা যায় না। Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very beautifully with an example he is explaining. A businessman is there and there are so many servants for that businessman. So he is taking care of all the subordinates, whoever are working for him, all of them are being maintained by him. How are they being maintained? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says there is a difference in the quantity or the quality of maintaining, depending on the quality and the quantity of their submission to the businessman. A person is there, very generous, noble. He is taking care, he is a businessman, he is taking care of all his subordinates, but he is not taking care of all of them equally because everyone is not equally submitted to him, but yet he is taking care of them. Now, if someone among them, a few among them, let's say, they are not submitted to him, they are intending some, heinous activities against him, or they are committing offense to him, then that businessman will immediately take him out of that position. Person who is submitted, he is taking care. To whatever degree he submitted, to that degree he is taking care. But a person is completely going against the businessman, being his servant, then he will be immediately taken out of his position as being a servant. It does not mean that the master is not capable of taking care of that servant, but that servant is not eligible to receive the mercy of that business person. Is it clear? Clear? Is it clear? So it is not that the Supreme Lord, the businessman is incapacitated, he lacks the capacity to maintain this person, because he is maintaining everyone, he can maintain this person also, but because this person has committed offense to him, he is unfit to receive that. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is connecting this in terms of the holy name. It is not that the holy name cannot deliver that person. Holy name can deliver that person, but this person is ineligible to be delivered because of his offenses to the holy name. Therefore, there are different gradations of the ones who are submitting to the holy name. Holy name is gracing everyone, but according to their submission. To whatever degree one surrenders, the holy name is awarding the result accordingly. But those who are committing offense to the holy name while chanting the holy name also. I am remaining a servant of a businessman, but I am just acting against his wishes. Then I will immediately be deprived of that position. So holy name will also deprive that person from the actual mercy, and therefore he will have to undergo suffering. আবার তাহাদের অপরাধের ক্ষয়ের তারতম্যে তাহাদের প্রতি তাহার প্রসন্নতাও তারতম্য ঘটিয়া থাকে। And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is extending the example, and later if the person who has committed an offense, he realizes, oh, I had committed a mistake. My dear master, please forgive me. I have not known your glories, therefore I have committed a mistake unto your feet. Please free me, forgive me. Then the holy name will become merciful, or the master will become merciful, and then he will free. To what degree? To the degree one has realized his own mistake or offense and submitted to that master. In a similar manner, the holy name also, if one realizes one's own mistake or offense and then again submits to the holy name, my dear holy name, I have been committing offenses to you, please rescue me. To the degree one submits to the holy name and prays for the freedom from the previous offenses, the holy name will be merciful again. So it is not like once the holy name has rejected, or once the businessman has rejected, he will reject him forever. Not like that. The holy name is not like that. Holy name will again embrace those who realize their mistakes and again take shelter of the holy name. समस्त अपराध क्षय होइले प्रसन्नताई होय. And when one is freed completely from all the offenses to the holy name, then there will be happiness. Holy name will be pleased. When the holy name is pleased, then he will get the abode of Supreme Lord, or he will get the taste to chant the holy name. এই প্রকারেই নামোপলক্ষিতা শ্রী ভক্তি দেবীকে যাহারা কর্মাদি ফলের সিদ্ধির জন্য গৌণভাবে আশ্রয় করেন, সেই রূপস্থলে গুণীভূতা ভক্তির विद्यमानत्व হইলেও প্রাধান্যেন ব্যপদেশাঃ ভবন্তি, অর্থাৎ পদার্থ দ্বারাই কোনো ব্যাপারেরই ব্যপদেশ নামোল্লেখ হইয়া থাকে। এই ন্যায়ানুসারে তাহারা কর্মী জ্ঞানী প্রভৃতি শব্দে কথিত হন, কিন্তু বৈষ্ণব শব্দে উক্ত হন না। তাহারা কিন্তু স্বরূপতই এক প্রকার নামাপরাধী। So we started with a question Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has posed in this commentary, that okay, those who have committed offense to the holy name, they will go to hellish planets. Those arthavad, those who think an exaggeration, they will go to hell. I have no objection to it. But my question is that a person who has chanted the holy name, whether it is karmi, jnani, yogi, whatever it is, will they also be freed from hellish planets? And on the other side, a devotee, if he is chanting the holy name and he is repeatedly committing sinful activities, then he will also have to undergo hellish sufferings, isn't it? Karmi, jnani, yogi, they have to suffer. And devotee, maybe he is not committing offense, but he is committing sinful activities repeatedly, then he will also have to go to hellish planets, isn't it? In reply, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling all this. Now, recently, what I read recently, there it says that a person is taking shelter of Bhakti Devi or taking shelter of the holy name, but with some material desires. One is chanting the holy name or taking shelter of of Bhakti Devi, but he is, performing that in order to attain his, fruitive results. Then, according to one Nyaya Shastra logic, pradhanyena vyapadeshaha bhavanti. One is addressed by, what importance he is giving to. Means a karmi, if he is also performing devotion, but he is performing devotion in order to get some material desires fulfilled, then even though externally he may seem to be a devotee, he cannot be called as a devotee, he has to be called as a karmi only. Whatever is taking the precedence, he will be addressed as that. He cannot be addressed as a devotee, because his means or his end, his goal is to enjoy material desires. Therefore, even though he seemed to be taking care of taking shelter of devotion, it cannot be called as devotion. Similarly, a jnani, his end, target, his goal is to merge into Brahman. Even though he might seem to have taken shelter of the holy name or devotion seemingly externally, superficially, he cannot be called as a devotee, he will be called as a jnani only. Similarly, a yogi, ताहार किंतु स्वरूपतः एक प्रकार नामापराध, किंतु वैष्णव शब्दे उक्त होना, but they cannot be called as Vaishnavas. They cannot be called as devotees, because even though they may apparently seem to have been accepting devotion, but inwardly their goal is not devotion. Their goal is to merge with Brahman, their goal is to enjoy material desires, or their goal is to get some yogic perfections. They cannot be called as devotees. They are, in one sense, they are offenders of the holy name only. Krishna Sakati Thakur is telling that the karmis, jnanis, yogis, even though they may chant the holy name, they are called as offenders only. They cannot be called as devotees, because they are chanting the holy name for material purpose. Because in India also, you see, there are so many rituals going on, fire sacrifice going on, another place, another karma kanda activities going on. Some are doing jnana, some are performing yogic practices, but if you see, there is something common. All of them, they chant the Lord's name. It's not that they don't chant. Even the so-called Mayavadis, they also chant the Lord's name. But they don't believe in the existence of the Supreme Lord. Their goal is completely different. Therefore, even though one may see that one is chanting the holy name, but they cannot be called as Vaishnavas. They are nothing but offenders. The holy name, if it is chanted purely for the service of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, then it can be called as devotion, not otherwise. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is actually logically explaining everything. By the end of this purport, we will be able to understand why Ajamila, even though he had committed sins after chanting the Narayana name once, he is freed. Many times these many questions remain in our mind. Why is it so? Why is it so? So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has, very detailedly explained all these things. So in 6 or 7 pages of purport, he has given this. So we will go through it, and I will try to complete as quickly as possible, just translate, but at the same time trying to, convey whatever has been said to the extent of my understanding. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatattvatmak Shri Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Paramaraditam Patita Pavana Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Pranamsa Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Shla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shada Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Saparikar Shri Radha Madan Mohan Shri Radha Govinda Shri Radha Gopinath Jiva Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Dvaipayana Vedavyasa Mahamuni Ki Jai. जय सुखदेव गोस्वामी परीक्षित महाराज की जय. श्रीमद् भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट होम विष्णुपाद प्रभु स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति शरण संत गोस्वामी महाराज शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि पूजा की जय। समागत हरि कथा श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।